Khan says he's seeking indictments against the leadership of both Hamas and Israel, finding reasonable grounds to believe that those named bear criminal responsibility for war crimes and crimes against humanity.
I have reasonable grounds to believe, on the basis of evidence collected and examined by my office, that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Minister of Defence Yoav Gallant bear criminal responsibility for the following international crimes committed on the territory of the State of Palestine from at least the 8th of October 2023. The crimes include starvation of civilians as a method of warfare, willfully causing great suffering, serious injury to body or health or cruel treatment, willful killing or murder, and intentionally directing attacks against a civilian population, as well as crimes against humanity of extermination and or murder, persecution, and allegations of crimes of committing other inhumane acts.
He's also targeting the senior leadership, both military and political, of the militant group Hamas. 3 leaders Khan's office believes bear criminal responsibility for the killing of Israelis and the taking of hostages, among others.
I have reasonable grounds to believe that 3 senior leaders of Hamas, Yahya Sinwar, Mohammed Deif, and Ismail Haniyeh, bear criminal responsibility for the following international crimes committed on the territory of Israel and the State of Palestine from at least the 7th of October 2023. Extermination as a crime against humanity. Murder as a crime against humanity and as a war crime. The taking of hostages as a war crime. Rape and other acts of sexual violence during captivity as crimes against humanity and as war crimes. Torture during captivity as a crime against humanity and as a war crime. Other inhumane acts during captivity as a crime against humanity. Cruel treatment during captivity as a war crime. And outrages upon personal dignity during captivity as a war crime.
Khan also sought to preempt the argument regularly proffered by Israel that its military offensive was steeped in the inherent right of a state to self-defense.
My office charges Netanyahu and Gallant as co-perpetrators and as superiors in the commission of these alleged crimes. Israel, like all states, has the right to defend its population. It has every right to ensure the return of hostages that have been criminally and callously taken. Those rights, however, do not absolve Israel of its obligations to comply with international humanitarian law. Intentionally causing death, starvation, injury, and suffering to the civilian population, including so very many women and children, are criminal means to achieve military and political goals. That's what we allege.
On April 28th, Prime Minister Netanyahu issued the following social media post arguing that under his leadership, Israel would never accept any attempt by the ICC to undermine its inherent right to self-defense, adding it would set a dangerous precedent. While Israeli opposition leaders have come to his defense.
Drawing parallels between the leaders of a country which came out to defend its citizens and bloodthirsty terrorists is a moral blindness and damages its obligation and its ability to defend its citizens. Accepting the position of the prosecutor would harm the ability of any country to defend its citizens and will constitute a crime of historic proportion. It's a disaster. It's a political disaster. It's a moral disaster. It cannot be that they say they issue arrest warrants against Netanyahu, Yahya Sinwar, Haniyeh, and Mohammed Deif after they have slaughtered us and our children on October 7th. There is no such comparison. We will not accept it, and we cannot accept it.
Human Rights Watch called the prosecutor's move a principled first step that opens the door to those responsible for the atrocities committed in recent months to answer for their actions at a fair trial. The rights group also said that ICC member states should stand ready to resolutely protect the ICC's independence, as hostile pressure is likely to increase while the ICC judges consider Prosecutor Khan's request. This as Republican U.S. Senator Tom Cotton, among those members of Congress that have threatened the court's officials with punitive measures were they to move against Israel, accused the ICC of being a kangaroo court that has no jurisdiction in Israel to pursue what he called anti-Semitic and politically motivated charges, adding that he and his colleagues looked forward to making sure neither Khan, his associates or their families ever set foot again in the United States. Sherwin Riceby's SABC News, New York.